Chapter 8. A Cold Reckoning. I stood there, numb, watching Carter's eyes as they pleaded with me. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to believe that the man I thought was my ally, my friend, maybe even more, wasn't capable of manipulating me. But after Adrian's words, the doubts I had been trying to suppress crashed over me like a tidal wave. Juliet, listen, Carter began, taking another step closer. You don't understand. This was never about hurting you. I shook my head, backing away from both him and Adrian. You think that makes it better? You were working with him, Carter? You were playing me this whole time. Adrian stood back, arms crossed, his expression smug as he watched the chaos unfold. He had won this round, and he was enjoying every second of it. I wasn't playing you, Carter insisted, his voice full of desperation. I was trying to protect you from him. Everything I did was to get close to Adrian to find out his plans. And what? I snapped, my anger bubbling to the surface. You thought lying to me, deceiving me, would somehow help? You thought that once I found out the truth, I'd just forgive you. Carter's face crumpled with guilt, but he didn't back down. I never wanted you to find out like this. I was trying to keep you safe. Safe. I laughed bitterly, the sound harsh in the quiet night. You have no idea what you've done. I turned away from him, unable to bear the sight of his face, the face I had started to trust. My chest ached with betrayal, but behind the anger, there was something else. A hollow, gnawing pain that came with the realization that, once again, I was caught in someone else's game. Adrian's voice cut through the night, cold and sharp. Well, this has been a lovely little drama, but I think it's time to wrap things up, don't you? I stiffened, turning to face him. Adrian's eyes gleamed with satisfaction, but beneath that I could see something darker. He hadn't just come here to gloat. He had come to make sure I knew just how deep his control over my life went. You've made your point, I said, my voice steady even though my heart was racing. But if you think I'm going to just roll over and let you win, you're wrong. Adrian raised an eyebrow, his smile fading. I don't think you quite understand the situation, Juliet. You don't have a choice. Not anymore. His words sent a chill down my spine, but I refused to show him how much they affected me. You think you control everything, don't you? But you don't control me. Adrian's gaze hardened. Don't I? He stepped forward, closing the distance between us, his presence looming over me. You're in over your head, Juliet. This isn't a game you can win. I gave you a chance, multiple chances, to walk away, to join me. But now you've left me no choice. I swallowed hard, refusing to let him see the fear coursing through me. And what's that supposed to mean? Adrian's smile returned, colder this time. It means that from this moment on, you're mine. Your family, your legacy, everything you care about is mine. And there's nothing you or Carter can do to stop it. I glanced at Carter, who stood frozen, his fists clenched at his sides. I could see the frustration and anger in his eyes, but I could also see the helplessness. He had tried to protect me, but now we were both at Adrian's mercy. I turned back to Adrian, my heart pounding in my chest. You don't own me. You never will. Adrian's smile faltered for a moment, but then his expression shifted, amused, almost intrigued. We'll see about that. He took a step back, his gaze lingering on me for a moment before turning to Carter. You should have known better, Carter. You can't outplay me. Carter's jaw tightened, but he didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. Adrian had already won this round, and we both knew it. Without another word, Adrian turned and walked away, disappearing into the darkness. I stood there, frozen, my mind racing as the reality of what had just happened settled over me like a suffocating blanket. Carter approached me cautiously, his voice low. Juliet! Don't, I whispered, my voice barely audible. He stopped, his expression full of guilt and regret. I'm sorry. I should have told you the truth. I swallowed the lump in my throat, my eyes stinging with tears I refused to let fall. It's too late for that. Carter sighed, running a hand through his hair in frustration. I was trying to protect you. I thought I could. Protect me, I interrupted, my voice rising. You've done nothing but hurt me, Carter. You and Adrian both. I know, he said, his voice cracking. And I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you if I have to. But right now, we need to figure out what our next move is. Our next move. I laughed bitterly. There's no our, Carter. Not anymore. He flinched, the words hitting him harder than I expected. I didn't care. I was done trusting people who only saw me as a pawn in their games. I was done letting people control my life. I turned away from him, my mind spinning with everything that had happened. Adrian thought he had won, that he had underestimated me. I wasn't just going to walk away from this. I wasn't going to let him take everything from me. I would find a way to beat him. I glanced back at Carter, my voice cold and distant. You should leave. Carter hesitated, his eyes filled with a mixture of regret and desperation, but he nodded. If that's what you want. It is, I said firmly. Without another word, Carter turned and walked away, disappearing into the shadows just as Adrian had. I stood there alone, the weight of the night pressing down on me, but I wasn't broken. Not yet. I would find a way to take back control, to take back my life, because in this game, the only person I could trust was myself, and I wasn't done fighting.